For the last 14 years, I've run my mortgage brokerage, and I can tell you that right now, it's the hardest time for first home buyers to buy a house. So if you have a level of anxiety or overwhelm when it comes to buying your first home, then don't worry, you're not on your own. In this video, we're going to ask the question, should you buy your first home in 2025? And if you want to buy your first home, then what you need to do to make it happen. Of course, I can't give you every single step in the one video because it's a complex process. For those of you who are keen to get into research, you can feel free to stick around, and I'll be sharing a guide called Home Sweet Homeowner, which I designed especially to give first home buyers the information they need to know when buying their first home. If you want to take the shortcut, then you can just engage a good mortgage broker and they'll do all the heavy lifting for you. You can find the links below to tee up a time and chat with me about buying your first home. Is 2025 the year to buy your first home? Well, if you're already watching, then you're already a fair way there to making your mind up. The main concern for a long time is that property prices are too high. However, in more recent years, there are other concerns like the cost of rent. And it's not just the rent itself, it's combined with the cost of everything else going up. And this is making it harder for renters to save for a deposit. This feeling at the pit of your stomach that maybe you will be stuck in the rental market forever and won't be able to get ahead is becoming a reality for more and more Australians. This is what I call the rent trap resident. The reality is that being a renter means you have less security. The rent can go up, the landlord can boot you out, or they can move back into it. And that is a scary prospect because if you have to go out and rent another place, that's not easy because of all the rental shortages at the moment. I get that house prices are higher now, but you still have a choice to make. And house prices are a genuine concern because higher prices means higher loan repayments. However, the trade-off is that you're continuing just to pay a higher rent and someone else's mortgage off. If you've decided to buy your first home in 2025, then I'm going to give you the basics because otherwise this video is going to go for hours. For more info, I have a free guide, Home Sweet Homeowner, which you can access in the links below. It'll give you a comprehensive guide about buying your first home. Okay, so here's 3 basic qualifiers you need to buy your first home in 2025. You need a minimum deposit of 5% of the purchase price. This is the bare minimum, and depending on what you want to buy, it may be more. You need to be working. This should be pretty obvious, but sometimes it's not to some people, but you need to have income to be able to pay the loan back, and the bank won't approve a loan unless you're working. You need to have a clean credit file. Obviously, it's going to be a problem if there's late payments or credit defaults listed on your credit file. You can check your credit file for free online. I've given you some basic qualifiers here. If you're already at this stage, you need to talk with a mortgage broker because they're going to look at everything and be able to give you a more detailed information as to what your options are. Things such as your borrowing power, what schemes and grants you can access, what the timeline looks like for your specific situation. I can't stress enough how important this step is because this is a major part of getting your ducks lined up. Once you have your mortgage broker lined up and it looks like the finance is progressing, then you need to have your conveyancer sorted out before you can start putting offers down. The conveyancer will help you with the legal side of things. Once you have a good mortgage broker and a good conveyancer on your side, the hard work is done because they'll help you avoid any of the bad mistakes and help get you into your first home. This is the best way you can fast track your journey to buying your first home in 2025. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments below or email me directly. Cheers.